do you feel your tax dollars are being spent wisely?
I'm fine with it. I think it is. I see a lot of maintenance work and everything. I have a little bit of doubt, but I have no problem with it. I think it is.
I think that we could focus a lot more on healthcare and education. I think that teachers and nurses deserve to be paid a lot more money. A lot of people in those jobs, especially as they're often female-led, aren't getting paid enough, and there's not enough money going towards those. I think a lot of it was affected, especially with people receiving COVID benefits, which was definitely needed in a lot of case scenarios. But I do think that needs to be more focus on education and healthcare.
Yes. I believe in our government. I voted them in. I believe in them. I think they do a good job.
I mean, to a point, there's some things that are in major crisis right now. The medical system, especially here in St. John's and Newfoundland. I had an operation. I had a hernia. It was 6 inches by 12 inches, so it was huge. It doesn't look like it, but I looked like I was pregnant a month ago. We got good people. I'm really concerned about the healthcare.
No. I see the roads around town and they're patched up pretty poorly, and most operations around town are usually handled pretty poorly as well.
I guess the roads around Newfoundland seems like they're getting a little bit better. So, but I don't know. It seems like we're paying in a nice bit of taxes. So I don't know if it's all going actually. So
I think the governments are doing what they can. There's only a certain amount of dollars. They're trying to do the best they can to put money where it needs to be, and whether it's enough, no, it'll never be enough. But I don't want to pay any more.
They're never spent totally wisely, I suppose. Sometimes I think by accident they're spent wisely, you know what I mean? But other than that, well, we got a system, the so-called, like Churchill, everybody quotes this. Churchill said, democracy is not the best system, but it's the best system of all the others, kind of thing. But democracy is messy. It's slow, and it's painfully slow sometimes.
Provincially, I think so. Federally, on the other hand, I don't think it's being utilized the best way it should be. I use as an example this $35 billion acquisition of these news. It's $35 billion or whatever it is, $70 billion, I think, actually. The F-35s. And I think it's, yes, they need to upgrade the planes, but are these planes as dependable as they say they are? 10 years ago, whatever it was, whenever Mr. Trudeau came into power, he stated no, he would never buy them. Now he's flip-flopped on that. So, that's my problem with feds. They flip-flop a lot.
This is a conversation that I try not to take too strong a stance on because I am not in the federal government. I don't work in finance, and I don't necessarily understand how the money is spent and how, debt matters to us and how day-to-day that really affects us as people. But I do think I'd like to see the money felt on the ground better. You know what I mean? Like, I was just reading this morning how there's billions of dollars in supposed spending from last year that didn't get spent. Well, that's not wise spending if we're expecting certain programs and we're not getting them. But at the same time, I'm not one who says, slash spending, slash government. I think the point of our government is to provide services. I want to see them spend the money. If they're going to take it, spend it. Spend it smart, if possible. Nobody's perfect, obviously, but I'd like to see it actually go into the services we expect.
No, I don't think they are. I just think government has gotten too big and chasing probably the wrong things. There's things governments probably should refocus on and spend their effort on that. So, I just think that they've lost their way.
I am a big supporter of paying tax for, social benefits like healthcare, education, that sort of thing. So I'm a big proponent of putting money in so that as a society we can support each other.
I feel they're being spent the best they can. I feel government is there to help society the best way they can, but they can't solve everything. Some of it is left up to us. And seeing what's going on in the rest of the world, I consider myself extremely grateful for living in Canada and for what my tax dollars give me.